Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ignore the variables, and we're just going to write the coefficients in a row. So x to the third is 1x to the third. Minus 14 becomes negative 14. Positive 51 becomes positive 51. And negative 54 is negative 54. And once you write the numbers in a row, what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line underneath. Give yourself a little room because you're going to be writing numbers over here. Yes, sir.
Why is it 51? I mean, hold on. Okay.
Okay. In addition to this line of numbers, you're going to draw half a little box. And what you're going to do is whatever value you are dividing by, so we call this the divisor. Whatever the divisor is, whatever this number is, the negative 7, we put the opposite. Oops, let's write that a little neater. So this negative 7 gets written as 7. Negative 7, positive 7. If we're dividing by a positive value, obviously we put a negative value in the box. Okay, now we have two operations, multiplication and addition. Simply put, if you write a number below the line, you're going to multiply with it. If you put a number above the line, you're going to add. So below the line is multiplication, above the line is addition. When you do these yourselves, obviously you don't have to write the words addition and multiplication. That's just so you can see and remember what to do. Okay. Does anybody have any questions so far? Could you please cover your mouth or something really quietly? You give me a complex. Okay, is there anybody not caught up? Alright. First thing we do, we take the first term, whatever this number is, and we bring it down and we write it below the line. Then we multiply. So we take whatever this value is, here it's 7, and we multiply 7 times 1. 7 times 1 is 7. So whatever the product is of the number in the box and the number below the line gets written in the next column. Now we add. We take this value, the top value in the column, and we add it to the number that we just wrote. So negative 14 plus 7 is negative 7. And that gets written below the line. Sorry. Sorry, the whole problem is wrong. Okay, luckily we didn't get very far. So it's actually x minus 2. I'm sorry, it's x plus 2. So I'm going to put negative 2 here. Alright, so we bring down the 1. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. This is why we do math in pencil. I did that on purpose. Yes, I did.
You
Okay.
did.
I
did.
did.
You.
Okay, so now we add.
I want yours.
Negative 14 plus negative 2 is negative 16. Very good, Ariana. Okay, now it's below the line, so we multiply. Negative 16 times negative 2 is positive 32. Again, below the line you multiply, above the line you add. Now we add 51 plus 32, 83. 83 times negative 2, negative 166.
Why
Good.
is it negative 2 that we're
What?
Why are we multiplying by negative 2?
Because that's the number in the box.
Oh, so it's always negative 2?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
In this problem. The next problem, it's a different number. Yes. Okay, last step. Oh, I'm sorry, not the last step. Yes, Juan.
With the one that you have, this one what you use always just drop down the first number.
That's right. Good. Negative or positive? Very good. Negative 220. Okay, since we've run out of numbers, we're done. The last step is to now take this and turn it into a polynomial. This is the key step. I guess not the key step, but whatever exponent you start with. So here we started with x to the third power. Your answer starts with one less. So if this is x to the third, then this is x to the second, otherwise known as x squared. So this becomes x squared. And then you just go in decreasing order. So this becomes negative 16x, and then this becomes positive 83, and this number here, the number in the last column, that's your remainder. So your remainder is negative 220.
And you just ignore all the top numbers.
You ignore everything else because this is your answer.
The
Now-
R stands for remainder.
The R stands for remainder. If this column were 0, that would mean we have no remainder. You don't have to write remainder 0, by the way. It's unnecessary, like your appendix.
What's an appendix?
In a book or in your body.
Your body.
It's a vestigial organ. It has no function anymore. Maybe once upon a time it did, but not anymore.
It's a pointless word.
Oh, let's get rid of it.
Well,
I
you do
did.
have it.
I don't know
What?
what I was trying to
How do you take it out?
surgery.
So I can just, do I have, how do you know you have it?
Because my appendix was about to burst. I was going to die. if I
Okay.
didn't get it out.
Does anybody have any questions?
That's cute.
That's true.
Are there any questions?
No.
Okay, let's do another one.
No, I'm laughing.
No, I'm not joking.
All right. So, I'd like you to take a look at the problem here. Here's my problem. Tell me what you notice about it.
It has no x squared.
That's right. It has no x squared. That's a problem.
Uh-oh.
Eh?
Fortunately, though, we have a way to solve that problem.
Oh, multiply.
0.
On the.
The answer is 0. What we're going to do is when we write our numbers in a row, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to start with 1, where x squared would be,
Oh, okay.
or wherever you have a gap. It doesn't necessarily have to be x squared. In this problem, it's x squared. But wherever you're going to have a gap in the exponents, you need to put in a placeholder. And that placeholder is 0. So that's why instead of, how many x squareds do we have?
0.
We have 0 x squared. Now we continue at negative 57 and positive 56. I draw my line. And what value goes in the box?
7.
Negative or positive?
Positive.
Positive 7. Remember, it's the opposite of whatever the term we're dividing by, which is called what? What do we call that term? Anyone remember way back?
Reciprocal.
No,
Reciprocal.
no. What do we call the thing we're dividing another thing by?
Division.
Division is what we're doing.
Dividend.
Not divider.
Dividend.
Dividend is the thing we are dividing.
Divider.
What? Divisor, that's correct.
Sword.
So this is the divisor, not the divider. This is the divisor, this is the dividend, and what do we, excuse me, what do we call the answer?
Divisor.
The answer.
Quotient.
The answer is the quotient. You're on the ball, Chili. Very good. Okay, so what's our first step?
Bring it down.
Bring what down? Be more
One.
specific, please.
1 times 7. 1.
You're jumping ahead. Bring down the 1. Good. Okay, since it's below the line, we do what?
Multiply.
We multiply. So 7 times 1 is 7. Gracias. Since it's above the line, we
Add.
add 0 plus 7 is 7. And now we
Multiply.
multiply 7 times 7 is 49. And now we
Add.
add, thank you Alex, -8. -8 times 7. Nope. -56. And now we add these, and what do we get?
0.
We get 0. So that tells us that this problem does not have a remainder. So now again, we started with x to the 3rd power. So our quotient starts with what? X to the 2nd power. So I have 1x to the 2nd power plus 7x minus 8. And that's my answer.
Wait, so I have a question.
Okay.
On our test, are we able to
Okay.
use only which one we feel comfortable
What,
with?
do you have questions about this?
Oh, no.
Okay, are there any questions about this problem?